Okay, degree is here. That's our 3. Our type is cubic. Hey, our leading coefficient, that's hiding right here in front of the x. So that's a what? A 1. Okay, how many solutions are we going to have? 3. The solutions are always the same as what? The degree. These two right here should always be the same number. Hey, our y-intercept is the easiest one on the whole page. Hey, it's always that last value. So that's 6, positive 6. Number of terms is our degree minus 1. So it's 2. Okay, we've spent a lot of time on end behavior. So we're looking at the right end first. We always look at the right end first. And for the right end, we look at our leading coefficient. Our leading coefficient is positive, so that means the right end goes up. So we put rise. Then we look at the degree. If the degree is odd, it's opposite, which in this case it is. So it's opposite. So instead of rise, we put fall. Right? We good with that stuff on the left. Identifying the characteristics. Yes. Uh-huh.
This was the exact problem on the practice thing.
Okay.
And mine is opposite.
Okay. Next, we can graph kind of 3 of these things right now. Okay. The rise, the fall, and the y-intercept. We can put on the graph right now without doing any more work. So my y-intercept is 6, so I'm going to put that over here. Right there. Then I know that my right end is rise, so I like to do this, and then fall. Right, now in the past, in previous lessons, what we did here was we looked at, all right, I know it's got to have 3 solutions, 2 turns, so we went like this. 1, 2, 3. And we just sketched it in there. And sometimes it looked like that. Other times it might have looked like that. Okay? But we just sketched it in. And what I told you at that point was eventually we're going to know exactly where those x-intercepts are. And that's where we get to today. And this is where that conglomeration comes in. Because now we're going to combine this stuff with what we did the last couple of days. We need to find our other solutions. And that brings us to this middle section. Okay? They tell us that one of the solutions, one of the zeros, one of the x-intercepts, remember all of those words are synonymous, is -2. So then we have a polynomial, and we have one of our solutions given to us. So what strategy did we work on yesterday that we can use to solve? Yes, we can use our synthetic division. So we're going to create our bracket. And then our blue numbers at the top, we do not skip any in our polynomial. So we're going to go 1, 6, 11, 6. And then my red number is going to be the solution that was provided to me, so -2. So if it said that one of the factors was x minus 2, then we would set it equal to 0 and we would use a positive 2. But that's not what they give us. They tell us that the solution, the 0, is -2. So we just use the -2. Now we go through our process. First thing we do is bring down the 1, and now we multiply, add, multiply, add. So we get -2, then we get 4, then we get -8, then we get 3, then we get -6, and then woohoo! Which should happen. We should get a 0 because they're telling us it's a factor or it's a solution to this, okay? Now, that right there at the bottom becomes our depressed polynomial. So we write that as x, and then my degree is going to be what? Squared. Because we did one level of division, so that means the degree goes down 1. So x squared plus 4x plus 3 is my depressed polynomial. Right, now, if I presented to you just this purple part, and I said, hey, I want you to solve the quadratic, what would we do? We'd set it equal to 0. We could, but we don't have to on this one. There's an easier thing to do before we factor it. Yeah. So we're going to set it equal to 0. And then we're going to factor. x, x. And then what are the factors of 3 that add up to 4? 3 and 1. So it's going to be plus 3 plus 1. So then we can use that and the 0 property. Set these equal to 0. So x equals negative 3. X equals negative 1. So now I'm going to go back to our degree was 3. So that means we have to have 3 solutions. Do we have 3 solutions? Yes. We have the 2 that we just found, negative 1, negative 3, and then the one that they gave us, negative 2. So now we're going to graph those. Where are those going to go on our graph if they are the solutions? Where do they go on the graph? On the x-axis. Solutions are the x-intercepts. See how that says it right here, x-intercepts? So we're going to put negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. Just like that. They were squished together. Sorry.
Like when we draw
Mm-hmm.
thing, would we just go through?
Exactly. So we know it's fall. So we're going to start down here, go through each dot, and then go up through my y-intercept, just like that. Okay, so go ahead and fill out the stuff on the left. The characteristics of the polynomial. Do that if you haven't already. I'll give you 60 seconds. Degree should be 4. Our type is quartic, which again, doesn't really help us much, but whatever. Leading coefficient is 1. Total solutions is 4. Y-intercept is 6. Max turns is 3. The right end is going to be rise. The left end is also going to be rise because it's an even degree. Any questions about those characteristics? All right, so then we're going to put our y-intercept on here. And then I'm going to make my notes about rise, rise. Now we're going to do our synthetic division to find our other solutions. How many did they give us in this case? They gave us 2, so we're going to have to find 2 more. I also want you to recognize the degree is 4. Okay? One of our goals of synthetic division is to get it down to a degree of 2 so that then we can factor it or use the quadratic formula. Okay? So how many levels of synthetic division are we going to need to do? 2, probably 2. So we're going to put in our blue numbers, our coefficients, 1, negative 1, negative 7, 1, and 6. And then it doesn't matter which one we start with first, but we're just going to use 1. Then we go through our process. So now we're down to a 3rd degree. And now we do another level of division. Hmm?
2 levels is squared.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. What would we call this purple thing here at the end? It's not happy. It's not excited. It's depressed. Okay, it's a depressed polynomial. So that's our depressed polynomial. And then we're going to set that equal to 0 and factor it.
For these ones, since they give us like the solutions, can we put those on our graph right away?
Mhm.
The given ones?
Absolutely. Yep. So we should have 4 dots on our x-axis because we have 4 solutions. Then we know that both end behaviors are rise, rise. So it goes down and through, up and through our y-intercept, down and through, up and through.
Mine was different. Like my numbers. My givens were 1 and negative 2. and then the ones I got were -31. I think I did the math right, but like.
That's the notes one.
Okay.
That's not the homework one.
They're the same problem.
Yeah, it's like the same.
They're
well,
exactly the same equation.
Yeah, see, it's the same, but like just those numbers are different.
Did you get the same 4 solutions?
That's
I'm going to stop on this, and we are going to transition to our new notes